Hey, what's up YouTube? Here's another video by Ratchets and Wrenches, and today I'm going to show you how to diagnose and remove and replace a motor mount on a 2006 Hyundai Elantra. Okay, some symptoms of bad motor or transmission mounts are basically vibration, feeling vibration at idle, or in worst case, or even in when the motor mounts are more than one is bad, then you could even feel vibration and even something that feels close to like a transmission kick while trying to shift gear at higher speeds. But it's kind of hard for people that are not used to this kind of stuff to differentiate between a transmission kick and maybe a bad tranny or transmission mount. So don't misdiagnose your transmission problem with a bad mount. Okay, and yeah, also I guess some vibration at idles in some cars could be due to replacing a CV joint with a non-OEM CV joint or CV axle. I've had that problem with Subarus and also Volkswagens and Audis, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, so a quick guide as to where your motor mounts and your transmission mount is going to be located on a 4-cylinder front wheel drive vehicle like the car we have here. Basically on this setup you're gonna have 3 motor mounts and 1 transmission mount. Obviously the side mount, the side motor mount, in our case the pad is going to be on the passenger side, and you can easily just give a visual inspection. If you suspect your motor mounts are bad, you can there's the rubber that needs to be intact. If it's torn, obviously that needs to be replaced. Then you're gonna have a front motor mount, which is gonna be this guy down here, right there. I don't know how well you guys can see, but then you can also visually inspect that. And then you're gonna have a rear motor mount, which is gonna be all the way down here, which you can't really see from top in this car, and you're gonna have to jack up the vehicle to inspect. And besides these 3 motor mounts, you're gonna have a transmission mount, which is gonna be right down here, this right underneath the air filter box. And let's see, this guy right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, that's your transmission mount. Basically, whatever mount goes on the transmission that connects the transmission to the body becomes a transmission mount, and then you usually have 3 motor mounts that connect the motor to the body. Okay, another way you can see if you have bad motor mounts is to get in your car, put on your emergency parking brakes, then start the vehicle, and then put your foot on the brake pedal, put the car in drive, and then while looking at the engine from inside the car, or you can have someone look at it from outside the car, you just while your foot is on the brake pedal and the car is in drive, you give the car a little gas, and then you see how much your engine is moving. Okay, you can pick out a point of reference right after the engine, just compare it to where the engine is right now, and then choose, like, let's say your radiator cap as a point of reference, and then try to see if you can measure how much it moves back while it's in drive. If it moves back more than, let's say, like I don't know, like half an inch or so, or quarter to a half an inch, then you might have a problem. If it's right now it's in drive, it's moving this way. So if it moves back this way too much, you might have a problem with your front motor mount. And then we put it in reverse, and then we do the same. From here, I don't know how well you guys can see, but we have more movement while in reverse and the engine moving forward. So there is a chance we have a problem with our rear motor mount. So we're gonna jack up the car and see if we can see how our rear motor mount is. Okay, so next step, we're gonna jack up the front of the car and put it on jack stands. Okay guys, now we're at the Underneath the engine, towards the back of the engine, you can see our motor mount, and as you can see, it's torn here, and there's also a little smaller tear here. I don't know how well you guys can see, but now I'm just gonna get in the car and do the test we did earlier, and then you guys can see how much movement it's gonna be because of this tear up here. Okay. Okay, as you guys saw, there was plenty of plenty of movement at the rear motor mount, so we gotta replace it. But before we do that, we're gonna have to support our engine and transmission with our jack, and just get a piece of 2x4 so you spread out the weight. And yeah, if you don't do that, your motor is not gonna fall on you, but it's a very good practice because it's gonna put an extra strain. When you disconnect that motor mount, it's gonna put extra strain on the other mounts and cause them to wear out, and then you're gonna have to replace them. So yeah, make sure you do this. Just jack up the car, or I'm sorry, use your jack and a piece of 2x4 to support the engine and transmission. You don't have to lift it up a whole lot, just enough to support it. That's it. That's all you need to do. Okay, so in order to remove this mount, we're first gonna take out this through bolt that's holding the mount, that's connecting the mount to the engine, and it's both gonna be this is a 14mm bolt, and at the back here is a 14mm nut. So we put our ratcheting wrench, or you can just use a regular wrench on there, and then we get our socket and ratchet, and just twist these in opposite directions, and it should come out without a problem. Here's the nut, and here's the bolt. Okay, so after removing these through bolts, it's time to remove these 3 bolts that hold the motor mount to the body, to the frame, and these are also 14mm. I'm going to use my impact gun for these because these are in pretty good. Alright. Okay, now that we got our old mount out, you can see even better where the tear is. It's torn on this side, right here, and also on the top, it's also torn through there. I don't know how well you guys can see, but yeah. So yeah, now we just compare it to our new part. Well, this is an aftermarket part, so it's a little different, but the size of the rubber mount, and also where the bolts go, it's pretty much, well, it's the same. So this is gonna work, okay? And also to make a note, there was thread locker on these bolts that held this into the frame. So I'm gonna clean these up and put some thread locker on these. They really don't want these to come loose and this mount moving around, okay? Okay, next it's time to put in our new motor mount, and we're gonna start with putting this through bolt in first, and then hand tighten the nut that goes to the back of it, because it's easier to do this now than put these bolts in, because once you put these in, you really can't move this around much. But when you put this one in first, you can still move that side around. Okay, there we go. Next we tighten this bolt, this through bolt down. Okay, next I'm just going to use my impact gun to run these down, and I don't have the torque spec for these, but judging from how hard it was to take them off, I'm going to say it was at least about 80-90 pounds, or probably 80 foot-pounds. But if you want to look it by the book, go by the book. Quick Google search will give you the right answer. But as for me, I'm just going to use my my impact gun. Okay, next we just need to remove our jack from underneath the transmission, and then just lower the vehicle, and then with the new motor mount, hopefully our vibration issue will be solved. Okay, and yeah, that's all there is to it. So if you guys like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.